What is up, folks? We are back, and as you can see, it is myself, Mr. Chris Stonadge and Conor Crosbie, and we are going to take you through our thoughts on the Everton game today. We'll have a little look ahead to the game against Southampton on Tuesday and a few other bits and pieces that we think we need to bring to your attention. Before we do get going, though, Chris, you were at the game today, mate. Long day for you. How are you feeling?
Yeah, good, mate. Yeah, a bit knackered. I mean, to be honest, I was worried on the way back that I'd had one too many pints at 9:30 a.m. in the morning. But listen, we had a fantastic time, and yeah, it was a brilliant atmosphere, brilliant game. Yeah, just probably one of the best 12:30 atmospheres I've ever experienced. I've probably been to about 9 or 10, and it was really, really good. Like the whole game, you wouldn't know it was that sort of time. So yeah, it was a brilliant day, but a very, very long day as well, mate.
Conor, when's the last time you had 4 or 5 points by 12 o'clock in the afternoon?
Every day.
He's Irish.
He's Irish, yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, good question. It's funny, actually, because Chris is probably hungover right now, if we think about it that way.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I realised that, like, some of the pubs, like Wetherspoons and stuff in the UK, could open at 7 in the morning. I didn't know what was going on. I was very confused, Chris.
That's a dream, mate. I did at uni once, all-nighter, stayed up, was outside the door of Wetherspoons at 7 a.m. I think that's rock bottom for me.
Before we get going, I want to get both your thoughts on something actually from the Atletico Madrid game. I want to talk about the incident with Diego Simeone again. Because the more I watch this one back, Chris, the more I love it. Because Simeone just can't deal with the fact that he's getting a little bit from the stands.
Do you know what? I have full respect to Diego Simeone. I absolutely love him, by the way. I want to just say, because he fully gives it. To be honest, to be fair, I don't think he took it very well, did he, on the way back? But usually he is quite good, isn't he? He's usually quite good at that sort of stuff. But he really bit on that one. But yeah, I'm not too sure what the guy actually said, to be honest. I know he's come out and put some stuff on Twitter and everything like that. I'm not too sure what he said. I don't particularly think it was with any malice. It was just your typical football banter. But yeah, it was good to see him nibble.
What really got to me, Conor, was Simeone was giving it the big one a couple of minutes beforehand when Llorente scored that goal. And look, he's entitled to do that, but yeah, he wasn't taking it too well, was he, Mr. Crosbie?
No, like Chris said, like your man came out and he kind of basically said he was just telling them to F off and sticking his fingers up, and like it wasn't anything, like it was not like everyone knows. The reporters asking, like, did he mention the Falklands and stuff? Like, why did everyone just jump to these things? Like, it was just ridiculous from him to just lose his head like that. Like you said, he's constantly doing that and giving it to the crowd at games. So like, just can't take it when you can give it out, but you can't take it back. It's embarrassing, really.
Imagine Simeone turn around and go, yeah, they were on about the Falklands. They were calling Maradona shy. They were non-stop.
Right, mate, listen. We have a song. We're saying Maradona was good, but he was off his head, wasn't he? And then McAllister's the best Argentine. So maybe that's what he was taking offence at.
Maybe. You can take offence at losing as well, because that's what happened, and we're all the better for it. So look, Merseyside derby today, as we know, Liverpool beat Everton by 2-1. I want to go right back, though, to the team selection. And any surprises for you, Conor, when you seen the starting 11?
It's hard to know if it's a surprise or not, because like obviously a lot of people were shocked Florian Wirtz was left out, but he has started 6 games this season. Like it's not exactly a bad time to give him a bit of a rest, and I think it was justified in the end. Like we didn't really need him, even when he came on, he was a bit disappointing, to be fair. But good to get the lads a bit of rest. Like there's no point overplaying him. Like we're a fully fit squad at the minute, no injuries, and there's a reason for that. It's the management of minutes, which is going to happen. So, like, even people on X were just like, "Oh, he's been dropped." Like, he hasn't been dropped. He's been rested. He's played fucking however many minutes. It's just ridiculous. Like, and yeah, I backed the manager on that one. I think it was a good decision in the end to drop him. And Isak was never going to start this game, I don't think.
No, I think it's fair. And look, it's a Merseyside derby. You want players out there who know what this game is going to be about. We didn't know if it was going to be Everton out there trying to go through us for a shortcut, whether the ref was going to be picky. I think it was understandable that Arne gave him a look at the game before introducing him. The other big call today, Chris, was no Federico Chiesa, which, considering he wasn't obviously picked for the Champions League squad, to not see him in the matchday squad again today, was it a surprise to you?
Yeah, it was initially, but then I looked at the bench, and to be honest, where was he going to go? Like it's crazy, but I don't think there was much space for him there. I think he'll get 90 minutes on Wednesday or Tuesday. I can't remember what day we're playing, but I think, to be honest, he has played really well when he's come on. But you look at that bench. I mean, where was he going to go? Who's he going to get ahead of?
you go through it and you think, right, well, Endo, no, we need a DM. We need to have an option there. We obviously have to have Gomez as a centre-back. Then you've got the 2 full-back cover for both sides, young Rio Ngamoa, Alexander Isak. And he's right, Connor, it was difficult to find anywhere there to justify putting Chiesa in and dropping someone.
Yeah, like even people were arguing like whether you take out Rio, but then like everyone said, Chiesa has kind of been our central option when he's come on. So like we have Isak for that. Like it is harsh to leave him out, but like we said, who do you actually take out for him? Like that's testament to how strong our bench was today as well, I suppose. Like we don't have a huge amount of attacking depth, but we have more than enough for a very strong bench like we did today.
I guess another one, Giovanni Leone is in there, but we know that he's playing on Tuesday and I'm really excited by that. Another thing, Chris, that we've seen today was wholesale changes in the fullback position. So Conor Bradley coming in on the right side and Milos Kerkez into his first Merseyside derby. What are your thoughts on both of those performances?
Yeah, brilliant. I hate to say it, but Stonadge did predict that on the last podcast. Just want to say, just want to put that out there.
Really surprised that you could find a way to get a point in when you're not fiddling with your hair, Chris, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. To be fair, that is true. I thought Kerkez especially was impressive today. Like really, really impressive. I just thought that the way that he dealt with just back close crosses in the majority was really, really good. Bradley as well. I mean, I think to be honest, he is a walking yellow card. But apart from that, like he's a wonderful player, and I'm surprised we didn't see Robbo and Frimpong. You know, maybe, but at the end of the day, like listen, we won the game, and I thought we defended pretty well. I can't remember apart from the goal, Ali actually making a save.
I can't think of one, to be honest with you.
No, I can't think of one either.
No, I was trying to think back through. I can't think of one. It was a brave call, Connor, to play Milos Kerkez because we've seen Andy Robertson get the nod midweek against Atletico. You know, we knew what we were coming up against there, a team that knew the dark arts, a team that were accomplished. So I think it was a big show of faith today from Arne to say to Milos, right, Merseyside derby, I trust you to keep your temperament and your aggression under control. And he didn't let him down.
Yeah, at the start of the week, I was definitely thinking Kerkez against Atletico because they're probably going to sit back, and then Robertson in this for the discipline and a bit of experience. But in fairness to Milos, he was spot on today. Like Chris said, it was a few, like I think it was a real diving header at the end. He just like leapt up and got rid of it and put his body on the line. He didn't get wound up too much. He didn't do any stupid tackles. He kept calm, which is exactly what we've been saying he needs to do the last few weeks. Like he's obviously a top-class player, just needs to keep the head a bit more, and he done that today in fairness to him. So yeah, top notch for him today.
Right, Chris, we've got rid of the boring stuff. We've talked defence. Now time for some Graven porn. Let's talk about Mr. Ryan Gravenberch. And, oh, dude, we have absolutely robbed Bayern Munich.
It's mad, isn't it? Just when he thought, you know, over the last couple of games, he couldn't get much better, he goes out and pulls that out of the bag, doesn't he? What an unbelievable finish that was. Like a proper attacking midfielders / strikers finish. You know, you wouldn't be surprised to see Alexander Isak doing that later in the season. It was
a surprise inside the ground of those around you that it was Gravenberch who was burying it.
No, I think that's probably the best compliment I can pay him is that actually, you know, where he's come from. Think about where he's played in his career before he's come to Liverpool, before Slot has moved him back. Probably more of an attacking 8 rather than a 6. And he showed it there. And to be honest, again, his defensive performance was brilliant, and to cap it off with a goal. I mean, if he's adding goals to his game, what else are we going to do? What are we going to do? He might be the best player ever.
He might just be Ballon d'Or Ryan. That's what we'll be calling him in a few years. Don't be saying that around Vinicius Jr. though. He's still a little bit salty about that. We can't be mentioning Ballon d'Ors. Connor, one thing that we can talk about his performance, and rightly so, but the goal and the way that he took it. I mean, Mo played a lovely ball into him, did have to break his stride, but it was a very clever finish.
100%. I was sitting here watching it. I was making noises I haven't made in years, to be honest, looking at it. It was just absolutely just genius. Like, it was such a deft little touch, but it was just so perfectly placed, and it was just enough power on it. It was just absolutely perfect. Like, I've seen a few videos of people recording from the crowd, and just even that the other angles make it look even better again. It was just incredible. Like, we wouldn't expect that from him, but we 100% would expect that from him, just given how good he is. And the Graven d'Or is on, lads. It has to be done.
So I want to then move on, Chris, to his assist that he got in the game as well, which, a goal and an assist. I think he's the youngest player to have done that in a Merseyside derby, I think, since the Premier League era for Liverpool. He's just bringing everything to the game today.
Do you know what? I'll tell you what, some of these stats that are getting washed out in the last few days have been mental, isn't it? Was it Salah was a goal and an assist in the first 6 minutes for the first time in an English Premier League club in the Champions League history or whatever. It's like, we can fit these square pegs around holes, but what we can say is the ball he played in was amazing. He had an assist against Atletico as well, didn't he? For Mo Salah. Brilliant finish from Hugo as well. The bow as well. I don't know if it was picked up on Sky, on TNT, sorry, when Hugo scored, he did a little bow to the crowd. It was lovely. Brilliant. Just a wonderful goal. 2 brilliant goals.
Do you know what was nice, Connor? Was it nice seeing Ryan Gravenberch threading the ball through and a forward knowing how to play the offside trap and play on the shoulder? It was a nice change.
He can keep the head to finish. He can keep onside. That's all you need. Beyond that is just what we need. We have him, and then we have Isak as well, who presumably can also do that. That's such a refreshing change from looking at Darwin for the last couple of seasons, isn't it? It's just phenomenal stuff.
You know what I love though, Chris, today was Hugo. He put himself about in that derby. He was closing down. He was getting into the physical stuff. He was obviously playing on the shoulder. He really seemed to embrace the derby atmosphere.
100%. And I think the best thing about Hugo is, and I don't think he'll be ashamed to admit this, I think he is the perfect 70-minute player. I don't think he's quite yet fit enough to do that for 90 minutes, but he puts absolutely everything into it for 70 minutes. Today, I mean, he reminds me a little bit of Darwin meets Firmino sort of vibe. He's got Darwin's rangy athleticism. He's quick. He's big. He's good in the air, and also he's got Firmino's brilliant intelligence of when he sort of comes deep and receives the ball with his back to goal. He's brilliant with that. I just love him, mate. I don't know how you can get him out of the team, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a lovely selection headache to have. And he seems like Bobby Firmino, Connor. He seems to love a little flick around the corner as well. Hugo Ekitike.
100%, yeah, the little skill, and just like Chris said, the dropping deep. It's such a different profile to Isak. I know the club profile them similar kind of players, but you see the difference when Isak came on, or even the other night when Ekitike came on for Isak. It's just, there's such good options to have. But what do you do? You can't take Ekitike out of that team. I know you can shove him out on the left, but then you can't have a player playing that well and then not put him in his preferred position. It's a great problem to have, obviously, but it's so hard to take him out of that team. He's just looked phenomenally settled in so quickly.
Well, Chris, to kind of jump through the agenda a little bit, Connor spoke about what do you do when Isak's there and how do you play. Let's talk about your boy, your big 6-foot winger from PSV Eindhoven, Chris, is worrying form at this point of the season. Now, I'm not writing him off. I'm not writing him off, but he's not looking as good as we know he's capable of being.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's very valid point. In games like this, I think he's sort of been found out a little bit one-dimensional. I think the word's been thrown around. The cut inside, the shot. I don't even think he had a shot today, to be honest. He's a big game player, and I back him to come back into form. He's someone who if presented with an opportunity, he can score you a goal. He can get you an assist in big moments. But yeah, I think you have to agree. Obviously, going forward, we're going to have to see. McAllister is going to be gradually introduced back in, as we've seen. That may shift Wirtz onto the left. You can't have Szoboszlai right back forever. However much I like to have him there, he's wasted there. You may as well have him in the field. It basically, all signs are pointing to Cody potentially losing his spot in the team. But look, there's 60 games this season to be played. I think he's going to improve and get better. But yeah, I understand where you're coming from.
Are we talking about 3 options, Connor, on the left-hand side for the manager? Because we know Rio Ingamo, we know Cody Gakpo. Would you consider Florian Wirtz to be a potential option for Arne to utilise on that left side?
Of course, he's an option, but I think his preferred position would be the 10, and I think that's what he was brought in to do. We heard that during the summer that was the vision that was sold to him, that he'd be the central cog in that forward line, the kind of the number 10. So obviously he is an option. He came on there this evening and he played there a bit against Atletico, but I don't think he's going to be starting there very often. I think more than likely we'll see if we need everyone on the pitch, Ekitike possibly pushed out left if Gakpo isn't playing. or if maybe N'Gamo gets more game time. But I don't think Wirtz is going to be a serious option for the left, but he can play there, obviously. But yeah, I think one of the other two lads.
I think, Chris, I'm just being greedy because you touched on the midfield and Szoboszlai's preferred position, and I'm just thinking Gravenberch, McAllister, Szoboszlai, how can I shoehorn in Florian Wirtz into that team as well? And the only realistic option there is to push him out to the left. But maybe we're going to see a varying formation from Arne Slot as the season goes on.
And also rotation as well. Like in the front three, we saw it with Salah, Mane, Firmino all the time. They were always changing, always chopping and changing. I think we'll see that with the likes of Isak and Ekitike. I think Isak's played on the left before as well. I'm not saying we're buying a £130 million striker to play on the left, but I'm saying that he can drift out there as well, cut inside on his right foot. There's options there. We're all right. Whatever happens, we're all right.
I did see some moments today, actually, where there was almost a switch between Gakpo and Ekitike, where Gakpo came in central for a little bit and Ekitike did. I don't know if it was by design or just the way that the movement was, but I did see that for a little while. What we have seen, Conor, over the last couple of games, in my opinion anyway, is a return to normality for Mohamed Salah. He's starting to look again like the player we know he is.
100%, yeah. I can see he's getting his confidence back. Like he's always going to deliver goals and assists, but like when he's fully up and flying, like you see the passing has got better, the first touches, the dribble, and everything has just been looking so much more confident. Like he nearly bagged one there. I think was it at 2-0? He kind of cut in and just fired it over to the far side. I thought it was in, but yeah, he's definitely looked a lot more sharp, and you can see the confidence there. So hopefully he can continue that and get back to his brilliant best.
And again, Chris, you were inside the ground today. What were those in and around you saying about Mo's performance?
Well, we've rather unfortunately, we've got quite a moany Irish guy behind us.
We're all that way, Chris. Don't worry about it. We're all that way.
Craig has an alibi. He wasn't there.
Yeah, rather. Yeah, I think he was actually from the north of Ireland, so I think that's probably excuses you from that one. But he wasn't too happy with Mo Salah, but I was. I thought he was just brilliant, and also. The thing I spotted with him today is he actually came back and helped out Conor Bradley quite a lot. I know that he's had that debate with Slot at the start of last season where he was saying, "Oh yeah, I probably shouldn't be getting involved in this, and I should be concentrating myself on the going forward bit." But he in a match that required him, I think, to be on that side and help deal with Jack Grealish, I thought we did really, really well defensively.
If I had one criticism of Mo today, I think he was being shrugged off the ball a little bit too easily in and around the halfway line, and some of those duels where maybe he's expecting the referee to give him a bit of protection and blow up. But we've seen Conor seemingly across the board this season. Refs are trying to let the game flow a little bit more and not stop these little niggly, what would have been fouls maybe last year.
Yeah, which isn't a bad thing necessarily. Like I think all we want really is consistency. Like if that is going to be the thing to do, at least if they all do it, we can say fair enough. That is how the game is going to be played. So yeah, as long as like to go back on Salah, I suppose like he just gets so much hassling and trouble all the time and never seems to get anything, which obviously is consistent as well. But yeah, I think as long as if these rules are brought in, as long as it's consistent, I think we can't complain too much. But yeah, hopefully a bit more protection for Salah overall as well.
Chris, Steve made a really good point on the last podcast, and don't tell him I said that, but Steve did make a really good point on the last podcast where he said we almost have to temper our expectations of what are good numbers this year across the board, because we know we've relied on Mohamed Salah to be the guy for the last 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. But now Isak, Ekitike, Wirtz, Gakpo, N'Gamo, Chiesa, the load should be spread around. So what we look at this season, I would say, is results and league position over numbers.
Well, exactly that. I mean, I think I hate to use them as a good example, but Arsenal. You look at Arsenal, right? They have across the last 2 to 3, 4 years, they've got a real dearth of goal scorers. You know, plenty of players who are scoring 10, 11, 12 goals. I think we'll see that with Liverpool this year. I think obviously we'll score more than that. And I think you'll probably have Mo Salah and Isak maybe standing head and shoulders above the rest. But yeah, it's a good thing to share the load. I mean, as we spoke about before, it's future proofing. We don't have to rely on Mohamed Salah until he's 45. Well, listen, if he's still good enough, then fair enough. But we don't have to rely on him until that, because we've got all of these amazing options going forward. Can't complain.
We do need to figure out what the hell's going on at 2-0 though, because I don't know if this is under instruction from Arne. I don't know. Like, I mean, we've always said, and there's a saying in football that it's the most dangerous scoreline to have being 2-0 up because it's not quite enough to shut up shop, but yeah, it is enough that you should be comfortable in the game. And for whatever reason, when we go to 2, something changes. I don't know if Arne is saying protect the ball more, but we tend to be dropping back a little bit, Connor. And, we only conceded the 1 today, which is great, but God, I'd love us to just find a way to get that third and kill it off.
100%, yeah. Like, I don't think I'm intelligent enough to figure that out, to be honest, like what exactly is going wrong. But like we've seen in the stats, I think we've conceded something like 2 XG over all the games this season. Like, it's not like we're giving away loads of chances. Like today, that finish was a brilliant finish. The Atletico Madrid game, that volley from outside the box, another day that doesn't go in. Like, it probably is a little bit of us taking our foot off the pedal slightly, but also just a little bit of misfortune in consistent games or in consecutive games. So hopefully, like I said, hopefully we can get to the point where we're winning games 3 or 4-0 or killing games quicker. But I'm not worried as such. I don't think it's going to continue because I think like individually all our defenders are playing well. We trust Alisson, and like I said, our XG conceded isn't that bad so far. So hopefully that should peter out over time.
Well, Chris, speaking about that XG that Connor mentioned, I have it here in front of me. Against Arsenal, we had an XG of 0.49 conceded. Burnley 0.13, which somehow still feels generous to Burnley.
Yeah. Where's that come from?
I mean, they had a shot, I think, in the opening 2 minutes that sailed over Alisson's crossbar, but that was it. And then at Letty, 0.61, and Everton today, 0.6. So as Connor said, it's not like we're giving up a load of chances.
Yeah, I do understand, though, that there does seem to be like a shift in momentum as soon as we go 2-0 up. Like, I don't know whether our pressing's slightly less intense. And I understand that, by the way, completely. We shouldn't be running around like headless chickens because we've got a long season ahead. However, it would be nice to kill a game off. And one of these days, it will come back to bite us. I think this season, how many times have we been 2-0 up now? Is that the 3rd time this season? And we've not, I mean, today we got away with it, but the other times we've gone back to 2-2. So it's Bournemouth, Newcastle,
4
times. 4 times. So the first 3 times of the season we've gone from 2-0 to 2-2. That's an issue. Like once is an accident, twice is a coincidence, and the 3rd time you're starting to worry, aren't you? So I think that it does need to change. However much the numbers may say so, I do think that is a bit of an issue.
And saying all of this, I have to say, I never actually felt like we were going to concede the second today. It didn't feel like Everton were in the game. I'm not trying to say we blew them off the park. They played their way into it, but it didn't feel like it was going to come. It didn't feel like we were going to have to rely on another Virgil van Dijk 94th minute header to win the game. We seen it out as comfortably as I guess we could, Chris.
Yeah, 100%. I genuinely, as we said earlier, right? Alisson didn't have to make a save in the game. Apart, the shot they had on goal, brilliant finish. Apart from that, Alisson, I don't recall him even having to make like a difficult catch from a cross or anything. Nothing happened. They didn't threat from set pieces at all. Everton, I don't recall them. I maybe had one or 2 corners in the entire game. Like they didn't threaten us at all, which is a situation I think Moyes will be really gutted with, to be honest, because that's where you can get at us. I still think that. But yeah, to be honest, that bit, I just wasn't worried about us conceding that second, just purely because of that reason.
Yeah, as I said, same with me. I thought we may score a third, but I certainly didn't feel we were going to concede another one. So games are coming thick and fast. As we know, it's League Cup time now, Connor, on Tuesday. I don't remember, mate, feeling this excited and intrigued by an early League Cup game as I am about this one, because there's so much new stuff to get excited about.
100%. Like, we have like Leone is expected to start, or at least have a good few minutes. We have N'Gamoha likely to start. Like, it's just, these players are so exciting to see. Like, obviously Leone we haven't seen yet. We just have that factor of wanting to see him. And then Southampton is a good choice of opposition in the fact that they're decent but not incredible. So like the likes of N'Gamoha should be running rings around them. So yeah, I'm very excited to see it. Even Mamardashvili in goal as well, possibly. Like, there's a lot of new things, new toys to play with, really, isn't there? Like in this game.
And on the opposition, Chris, it's interesting to see how seriously Southampton take it, because they're about mid-table, I think, or lower mid-table in the Championship at the minute. They would have, they would have eyes of wanting to come back up, wouldn't they? So, how seriously or how important is this game going to be to them?
I don't think it's going to be particularly important. Obviously, it's big for their fans. Even when they're in the Premier League, it's a huge huge game to come to Anfield, and it's even bigger now. But in terms of it's a long round trip. I don't think there'll be many Southampton fans there. And just because it's such a long distance on a midweek. And in terms of the team selection, I mean, we'll still probably be thinking, this is a complete free hit for players who potentially haven't had many minutes. And I think it's a similar one for us. Like, I love the Carabao Cup because we get to see these guys, we get to see players who don't potentially play too often. And I think, to be honest, we're going to see, maybe even like the likes of Jayden Danns come in. I think it'd be really nice to see him come on and get some minutes because I know he's been injured. And just see some more young players. Leone, as you said, exciting. It's really exciting, isn't it? And that's where we saw the likes of McConnell and those guys who came on and won. Conor Bradley emerged really in this competition. So it's an exciting time. We're seeing our future.
Before we get into who we're excited to see in this one, just a little word on Will Still, Connor, the Southampton coach, because it is one of the most interesting coaching stories we're going to hear this decade.
100%. Did you know he came from Football Manager?
I knew it.
It's just insane, isn't it? Like, it's full on, just like Jay from the In-Betweeners kind of thing, isn't it? It's like, he was so good at the game, just gave him a job. Like, it's just incredible. Or what was it before? He used to get fined, like, was it €50,000 every game he managed because he didn't have a coaching license or whatever. It's just, what a story. Like, fair play to him, and hopefully we see him in the Prem someday because it is just an incredible story, and hopefully he has a good end to it at some point.
Even watching him being interviewed, Chris, I mean, he comes across really well.
Yeah, chill guy. I mean, he's a guy who's experienced in Ligue 1. I mean, it's amazing him. Like, I don't know whether it's just here. Like, sometimes people you understand like these people's voices. You don't think that he's going to come out with fluent French, for example. It sounds really derogatory, but he's like a really, really interesting guy, and he's like fulfilling all of our dreams as buoyant Football Manager players like me and little nerds who've been sat playing their laptop. He's much more than that, obviously, and fair play to him. It's not started great for him at Southampton.
I wasn't going to put you and him on the same level, Chris, to be fair. Like,
yeah. Well, some people might, but they'd be very wrong. But has he won 12 back-to-back Premier Leagues with Wrexham in 2024? FM 2024? I doubt it. So, yeah, maybe my achievements are higher.
He's a fraud, mate. An absolute fraud.
You have more time to kill on flights, though. He doesn't have that kind of time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he doesn't live that premium economy lifestyle that you do, Chris, on all these long-haul flights. So I want to ask you, gents, who you're excited to see in this one, but I'm going to be greedy and go first on it because for me, I always look forward to seeing Trey Leone playing. I love him. I love watching that kid play football, and I'm excited to see him. He was not in the Champions League squad or anything during the week because he played for the under-19s in the UEFA Champions League Youth League. But that's who I'm excited to see in this one because I've huge belief in him as a player. And I'm interested to see his evolution as well. He's played centre-back. He's played number 8. He's played as a 6. He's played everywhere. So that's who I'm looking forward to seeing in this one. But for yourself, Connor, if you were to pick one name?
If I'm going with the obvious choice, I'm picking Engamoha, just purely because I think he's definitely going to start, and it'll be good to see him actually getting 60, 70, 80 minutes. Outside shout, do you reckon Isak plays at all? So I think if he plays like an hour, he is scoring at least 17 goals. And that would be very exciting to watch.
So I recorded the preview just before this, and I didn't put him in my centre-forward position in the preview. Did a stream, somebody mentioned it to me. I sat back and thought about it and thought, damn, they're right. Because the idea of maybe giving him an hour, Chris, and then Jayden Danns, let's say, who's working his own way back to fitness, that starts to make sense in my mind. So I'm raging I didn't get that into my preview before I recorded it, but I think it's a good shout, and we may see Isak. So do you think we'll see Isak, and who's the player you're looking forward to?
I think we will see Isak. He'll either be the one coming on or the other one starting. I think he might be the one coming on, depending on the situation. Really, really excited by Leone. Really, really excited. I think he's going to be a brilliant player. And also, I mean, I don't know what his fitness situation is like, but I hope we see Bajcetic. I don't know what's going on with his fitness situation, but people forget how good he was in that small space of time. And I really hope that this time away and being on loan has helped him, because I think he could be a real player and help, the squad. He's homegrown and he can be a really good backup to Gravenberch in the end. And I think maybe he's the Endo replacement in the end.
Maybe the club are hiding him away, and we're going to see him produce this Fernando Torres, Leon Goretzka style 6-pack muscles, and he could become a unit because
He'll still be smaller than Leone,
though.
though. He still won't compare to Leone. He still won't be compared to Leone. The size of that man for his age is ridiculous.
I can't stop looking at that picture of him over Lukaku. I just can't. Like, just think he's done that at 17.
Yeah, he's a beast. Absolute unit, isn't he? But Nat Phillips, of course, turns Zlatan. So
I don't think enough has been written about the bravery of Leone to pack up and move his entire life across to England, to a huge club. And yes, there's the lure of training alongside his idol Virgil van Dijk and whatnot, but that takes a pair of balls, Chris, to do that at 18.
Especially in Italy, where not a lot of success has really occurred in the Premier League for Italian players. And it's well known really for them to stay within their league. I think it's a massively brave move. He could have happily just trotted along to Juve or to Inter, and I'm not saying it's easy. It's definitely not, but it would have been easier than this. I think he probably sees himself as a first choice partner for Van Dijk and then maybe Konate or another in the next 2-3 years, because he clearly rates himself highly, and Palmer rated him ridiculously highly as well.
It is. It's so exciting to see him because we haven't had a sniff. We haven't seen a minute of him in a Liverpool shirt yet, so it really will be exciting to see. Another thing that I wanted to actually, do you reckon the youngster we signed from Salford might get into the squad, lads? I never really gave that much. Oh, he's injured. He came off against Atletico. You're right.
An injury, yeah. Bless him. Will Wright, yeah. Looked really exciting in that pre-season friendly, didn't he? But it's a real shame that he picked up that injury. It looks like quite a serious one as well.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Somebody mentioned to me on the stream that he went off against Atletico. That is a shame because this could have been a good opportunity for him, which, unlike Leone, that we have seen him in a Liverpool shirt at least get a couple of minutes. Before we finish up, gents, I wanted to have a conversation about something that's, I guess, relatively new. And we're starting to see a lot more Saturday night games and a few Friday night games. Now, I'm a huge advocate for 8 o'clock Saturday night football. I understand that there are drawbacks to it for travelling fans and stuff, but I wanted to know, Connor, is it something that you'd like to see more of in the game? Maybe a Friday night or a Saturday night kickoff?
I'm definitely not against it. Like you said, it obviously isn't ideal for travelling fans, but for a plastic fan like myself, let's say, like it's not exactly the end of the world. Like it's not a bad time to kick off. Like it's under the lights, of course. It's just giving Champions League vibes, which I'm always for. And Friday night is a little bit weirder. I feel like Friday football just never feels quite the same unless it's like the opening game of the season. I prefer Saturday or Sunday, but not against it at all. Like I think it's more football is always good, isn't it?
I love a Saturday 8 o'clock, and we've got Aston Villa, I think, Chris, on one of these 8 p.m. kickoffs. I think that rescheduled fixtures to Saturday 8 p.m. kickoff. Now, if I'm wrong on that, apologies, but what's your take on it? Now, you mentioned to me before about the travelling fans, which is a good point.
Yeah, I love a night game. Don't get me wrong, but obviously I'm fortunate enough to get a bus up and down. It's great. I much prefer it to a 12:30. Tell you that for one. 12:30s are absolute nightmares. But to be honest, more night games the better, because I have a fear that potentially games will be getting earlier. Like I'm talking like morning games, which I think would be horrific, especially for traveling.
I'd like to announce my retirement from.
yeah, that'll be.
Craig's having nightmares of this evening now.
I genuinely think one day, well, in the not too distant future, we'll see an 11 o'clock kickoff, which I think would be absolutely horrific. But it is what it is. I prefer giving more night games. I encourage more and more of it.
Do you think we'll ever see a later than a 4:30 Sunday game? Because if you look at top leagues around Europe, you've got Liga, Serie A, La Liga. They all play 8 p.m. Sunday games, but it's never been something we've seen utilised in the Prem.
I don't know. Have we ever had anything later than that before? I'm struggling. I don't think so.
Why haven't we? If we have, like, is it just because it's Sunday and Monday back to work and everyone traveling and stuff? Yeah.
And also, these leagues in these countries, they put on special transport for the fans. Like, I remember I went in a couple of years ago to see Rennes, and they had like a whole bus load of Paris Saint-Germain fans come in. Like, basically they encouraged the travel, whereas here it's sort of like discouraged. Like, whereas like you'll see, like, for example, say Villa come to Anfield, there won't be like an extra train put on for them later on, which would make sense, wouldn't it, for the economy of the city? But no, people don't really think about that.
Well, I guess to kind of play devil's advocate on this, we've got 8 p.m. kickoffs Tuesday, Wednesdays. We've got Monday night 8 p.m. kickoffs. Why is Saturday any different?
True. 100% correct.
I don't really I don't know the infrastructure for transport in the UK for trains and buses and stuff, but you know, it's something I love. I hope we get more of these late games on a Saturday.
Yeah, it's great. It's got to see. I mean, I was sitting before I came on watching Brentford Fulham. Sorry, great game. And I think those are the sort of games that you can probably get on at that sort of time with the local derby scenario. I think we could play Everton, for example, at an 8 p.m. kickoff because there's a lot less travelling involved for away fans. So yeah, I think that's probably the solution you're looking for with that.
So here's a bit of an interesting question to finish up then. What's your favourite kickoff slot that we currently have, Connor? And what kickoff slot would you get rid of if you could remove one?
I'm going to say get rid of 3 p.m.s because I don't like when it's slap bang in the middle of the day. And then you can also get rid of the stuff of it's not on TV for people in England as well. So if it's always earlier or later, it'll always be on. And I would keep the late kickoffs. Like I used to love quarter to 8 kickoffs. I don't know why they changed to 8. I used to like Champions League when it was quarter to 8. So I bring that back, get rid of the 8 and put 7:45 instead.
For yourself, Chris, what one would you like to see and what one would you get rid of?
Give me more Friday and Monday nights. I think they're great. Especially Fridays. I think it's sort of like if we can bin off the 12:30, I think obviously it's important for Asian markets and all that, but give me more Friday nights instead. I just think that it's good vibes, especially in the summer months. Maybe potentially not in the winter months, but those Friday night footballs at the start of the season, I think they just give good vibes. So yeah, more of them, less of the 12:30s, please.
So my favourite one is probably 4:30 on a Sunday. I do like that kickoff time. I think that's one that suits. It's not going to shock anybody to know I want rid of the 12:30 on Saturdays for a whole load of reasons. But you know, Monday ones are weird though, gents, because the weekend feels never ending. You know, when you're waiting for Monday night for your team to play and Saturday and Sunday, it just feels like it's a never ending one. So yeah, I'm gonna go with those two for me. But look, do let us know in the comments, folks, what you're thinking on this one, what you like, what you don't like, and which one you get rid of. Gents, I think time has beaten us this evening, but I want to say a huge thank you to both of you. Chris, you've had a day of traveling up and down to Liverpool, and appreciate you jumping on. And Connor, you've been with myself just banging out content all day and figuring out bits behind the scenes. So appreciate both of you. And also, most importantly, we appreciate you guys watching and listening. Thank you so much for your time. We'll be back with another episode soon. We'll talk then. Bye-bye.